So in solving inequalities, the first thing you need to know is the symbols. So here we have that the letter x is greater than whatever the value of a is, the greater than symbol. The letter x is less than whatever the value of a is. As soon as we put an additional line with the inequality symbol, greater than or less than symbol, it means that you can equal it as well. So that line there, which some people tend to draw parallel to that bottom line, means that x can be less than or it can be equal to whatever a is. And likewise the other way around, x can be greater than or it can be equal to the value of a. So here we have a few questions, and looking at the first one, we have that 2x plus 7 is greater than 15. So to solve these, you would do exactly the same as what you have done with solving equations. So with the 2x plus 7 greater than 15, the first thing you would do is you'd put the 7 on the other side, which becomes a take 7. So therefore 2x is greater than 8, which means that x is greater than 4. Question. Second one, we have that 3x take 4 is less than 17. 3x take 4 is less than 17. Move the 4 onto the other side, becomes a plus 4. So we have that 3x is less than 21, 17 plus the 4. So therefore x is less than 7. Going through your 3 times table. Second one. As for the third one we have that 6x plus 3 is less than or equal to 27. So same format, 6x plus 3 is less than or equal to 27. Take the 3 across to the other side, becomes a take 3. So we have 6x is less than or equal to, take the 3 off there, 24. Go through your 6 times table, where the x is less than or equal to 4. Now, a bit more challenging than the previous set of examples, but again, using exactly the same things that you've already met in class. In order to solve this inequality, the first thing we must do is remove the bracket. So a good revision of removing brackets. 2 times x is 2x. Minus sign, so minus sign. 2 times a 3 is 6, so we've removed the bracket. Less than 10, less than 10. What we do now is, as in the previous set of examples, move the 6 across the other side, becomes a plus 6. So we've got on the other side 16. So 2x has to be less than 16, which means that x has to be less than 8 when you go through your 2 times table. The second one, more complicated bracket this time. 3 times 2x is 6x. Minus, so minus 3 times 1 is 3. Has to be greater than or equal to 15. Move the 3 across, becomes a plus 3. So we have 18 on that side. So 6x has to be greater than or equal to 18. And if you go through your 6 times table, that gives us 3. So this time x is greater than or equal to 3. The mistakes people make is they change this symbol to an equals sign, because as you can see what I'm doing exactly the same that we did when we solved simple equations. But here we've got an inequality sign. The inequality sign needs to stay there. So that's my second one. As you can see, there are many. So now for the third one. So once again, remove the bracket. 4 times x is 4x. Plus sign this time. 4 times the 7 is 28. Is greater than 36. Take the 28 across the other side, becomes a take 28. So we've got 4x is greater than, and 36 take the 28 is 8. So x is greater than 2 when you go through the 4 times table. Third one. Fourth one. We've got here 6 times 2x, we've got 12x. Plus sign, so plus sign. 6 times 5 is 30, less than or equal to 6. And now a bit more challenging this one, because when I take the 30 across, it becomes a take 30. And 6 take 30 is negative 24. So 12x is less than or equal to negative 24. Well, we know that 12 goes into 24 twice. It's just that we've got that minus sign at the front. So the answer is x is less than or equal to minus 2. So fourth one done. And the fifth one, 5 times the 3x is 15x. Minus sign, so minus sign. 5 times the 7 is 35. Less than or equal to 40. Take the 35 to the side, becomes a plus 35, so that gives us 75 on that side. So 15x is less than or equal to 75. Now you can go through your 15 times table. So 15 and 15 we know makes 30. Another two of them would make 60, and another one would make 75. So we've got a total of 5. Done. Now for the most challenging of them all, when you've got not just numbers on both sides, but letters on both sides. Remember the rule. The rule for solving equations like this was you make sure that the letters are all on one side, and you make sure that the numbers are all on the other side. So we're going to keep the symbol in place. If I move that 3x to this side, it becomes a take 3x. So 4x take 3x is just 1x. If I move that 1 to the other side, it becomes a take 1, and 8 take 1 is 7. So x is greater than 7 is our answer there. First one done. Second one. Along the same lines, if I move the 5x to the other side, it becomes a take 5x. If I move the 6 to the other side, it becomes a plus 6. So we've got the less than symbol here. We've got 8x take 5x is 3x. Less than, and 6 and 6 makes 12. And go through your 3 times table, x is less than 4. Second one, done. Third one. Move the 3m to the other side, becomes a take 3m. So we have 5m take 3m is 2m. This time I've got the less than or equal to sign. When I move the 3 to the other side, it becomes a take 3. Now this is where we could have problems. We haven't got 7 on this side, we've got minus 7 on this side. When I take 3, that gives us minus 10. Now we know that 2 goes into 10 5 times, so m is definitely something to do with 5. However, we've got a minus sign at the front, so it's minus 5. M is less than or equal to minus 5. it's a bit more challenging, this one, because when I move the 2n to this side, minus 2n becomes a plus 2n. So it's the first time that the letter has become a plus, and it's because of our rule when we are simplifying equations. So we've got 4n, add 2n, we've got 6n on that side. We've got the greater than symbol this time. When I move the 1 onto the side, it becomes a take 1. Well, 13, take the 1, is 12. And 6 goes nicely into 12 twice, so n must be greater than 2. And the final one on here, we have that 4y, if I move it onto this side, becomes a take 4y. So we have a total of 5y on that side. We have the greater than or equal to symbol. And if I move the 5 onto the side, becomes a plus 5. And 2 plus 5 is 7. Now, I did tell you, you've got to be careful that sometimes the quantity does not go into the number. It's not in the times table. And in that event, just simply put the quantity onto the other side as a divide. So that would be fine. However, you could write 1.4 if you use your calculator. And that's because 5 does not go into 7, so just write it as a division. Now, feel free to rewind the video and go through one or two of them again, but you can see I'm just using the same maths each time. Letters go onto one side, numbers go onto the other side.